Hey, this is Joe Crump. I wanted to tell you about a new module that we have in the Push Button Automarketer. It's our phone system, and it's designed to make it possible to bring in outsourced work, to work remotely, and it's got a lot of great new features, and I want to walk you through them. First of all, you can set up as many local numbers as you need. They're only $3 a piece. You can have a local number in thousands of areas all over the world. We have phone numbers in the USA, Canada, UK, Australia, many other countries, Israel, all over the place. When you call, your caller ID shows the local number to the person you called. So no matter where you're at in the world, it looks like you're locally talking to that person, like you're right across the street. You can make and receive calls the same way you use an ordinary landline or cell phone. You can call from anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection. Call forwarding is included, so you can send calls to your cell phone, work, or home phone. Voicemail includes an email transcription and a WAV file of all your messages, and that gets sent in the email, or it can be downloaded. You can assign phone numbers to as many team members as you like, so you can set up all the team members in any parts of the world so they all have access only to the phone numbers that you want them to have access, while you have access to everything. You also have the capability to record all incoming and outgoing calls. You can listen to the recordings, use them for training, or download them. You can also keep track of how much time you are on the phone. This allows you to improve your own and your team members' efficiency. You can filter all your calls by phone number, by date, by incoming or outgoing calls, so you can keep track of the calls or find the calls when you need to. And you can manage your calls from an account online. You can also call over the internet from out of the country with a local number and look like you're right down the street. So if you want to hire somebody in Jamaica to make calls for you in California and make it look like that this person is in California, you can do that. And it gives you a better local presence. You can customize your voicemail greeting for each number. You can answer your calls through your online portal, speaking through your computer's microphone. So we've got a lot of very cool things that are part of this system. I'd like to show you how the system works and how it's set up. When you log into your phone system, first of all, you can make calls by simply typing in a number and making a call. I'm going to call my voicemail here. So I can leave a message on that machine, or if I want to call into this machine, I can do that as well. I'm calling in from an outside line, and I can accept it or reject it. If I accept it, I can talk through my microphone to these people, or if I reject it, it allows it to go directly to a voicemail. And when they leave a message, a voicemail, it will show up in this account down here. And I can either listen to the recording, or I can pull up a transcript of that recording. Now, the transcripts are not perfect. Voice technology hasn't gotten that far yet, but they're a pretty good indication of what's available. Let me just show you what one of them sounds like.
Hi, this is Frank Smith. My phone number is 317-598-1220. This is November 24th, 2014. No, I'm sorry.
I won't go through it all the way, but as you can see, it's not a fantastic transcript, but it's not bad either. It's enough to let you know what that message is about, so maybe you don't have to listen to the recording. This is also emailed to you, so you can read that transcript, and you'll get an emailed WAV file that you can listen to on your own system. You can also download this file onto your computer so you can have it. You'll also know how long the message is, when it came in, the date and time. You'll know what number it came in from, and that it was an incoming call rather than an outbound call, and from which phone number on your list that it came. You can also purchase a new phone number, or purchase as many phone numbers as you like. It starts out when you open it up with no phone numbers, and you can go in here and purchase a new phone number. And if I wanted let's say I want a Indiana phone number, and I'm going to be in the United States. And by the way, you can pick any of these countries. There's just a ton of them. including Australia and Canada and the UK. And I'd find a number, and it'll look for a number, and I can keep scrolling through this till I find a number that I like that may have maybe more than one of the same number in it, or maybe easier to remember if it has repetitive numbers, or sometimes easier to find. So you can keep looking until you find one that you like, click on purchase, and after you do, it'll add it to this system here. You can then edit the phone number and put in the name of the phone number that you wanted to have. You can record your greeting. You can forward that phone number to any phone number that you want, any US or Canada phone number you like. You can assign this phone number to any of your team members, and I'll show you teams in a minute, but each phone number can be assigned to one or more people so that it emails the message to that person and that they have access to it when they log into their account. It also allows you to enable or disable transcriptions. So if you decide you don't like transcriptions, you don't have to pay for them. They're a little extra money. I'm going to show you how much they cost. Or you can delete that phone number and no longer pay for it. As long as you have it, you just go to the pricing and it'll tell you exactly how much you're paying for that phone number. Let me just go there real quickly. And you can look by different states and it'll give you different pricing depending on where you're at. But most of them are pretty inexpensive. The local phone number is $3. We don't have toll-free yet, but we're going to. Inbound local calls cost 1.5 cents a minute. Outbound local calls cost 2.5 cents a minute. Voice-to-text transcriptions are 5.5 cents a minute. And to make the recordings, it's 1 cent per minute. So those are the costs. We don't have SMS text set up yet, but that's coming soon, and we wanted to let you know that it was coming, and it was going to be a pretty cool feature to this as well. The next part I want to show you is the overview, and this shows you how much you've spent for the month. This shows you how many minutes you've used and what you're paying for, how much it's cost you. And this, by the way, is 32.25 cents, not $32.25. It also breaks up the calls based on which user was using it, so you'll know who was on the call the most. Next is the team member system. You can add as many team members as you like, and then you can deactivate them if you like, and then view the ones you've deactivated later. But if you go in here and look at this particular user, you can edit their information and find their name and give them a username and password. You can put their contact information here if you like, and of course you need their email address here as well. Once you have that, you can send them an email, and it sends them the login information on how to get into the system, and it only gives them access to the phone numbers that you have assigned to them. Right now, this user has 2 phone numbers assigned to them. If I want to add another phone number, I've got the 317-622 and the 232-289 number. If I want to add another third phone number to them, I can do that. So let's see, this is the 973 number. We haven't done that yet. And if I want to assign that number to Angie, I can do that by clicking here and closing. And then when I go back, if I look now, we'll see that there's 3 numbers here. So we can assign them one or more if they want to work in different areas. So let's say you have a telemarketer who's working in Chicago, and they're working in Atlanta, and they're working in Jacksonville. You can assign them different numbers based on where they're calling into. And then, of course, once you send them the login information, they'll be able to access those numbers and the calls that they've made from there. Now, you're going to be able to see everything they do from your master control panel, which is what we have here. When they get in, they won't have as much information. They won't have access to your credit card account. They won't have access to the other phone calls or the other messages that are being left. Only you'll have access to those things. And you can turn these folks on and off simply by turning the on-off status on these accounts. The next thing is the transaction history. As you can see, we've spent $2 million on phones here. Not accurate. It only charges by $20 increments. The way the process works is as soon as you put your credit card information into your account, it will then charge you $20, and it'll start using up those minutes as you use the calls and as you buy phone numbers. And when it gets down to $10, it'll add another $20. It'll charge your account again. And so you'll never have more than $30 in your account at any particular time, and there'll always be enough money in there to cover any incoming or outgoing phone numbers or phone calls that you make. The last thing I want to show you is the tutorials. And although we've got a bunch of tutorials in here, the page isn't finished yet, so I'm not going to click on it, but it's going to have tutorials to show you how to do everything. So you'll never get confused. There's a dozen different tutorials in there for simple tasks that are just 1 or 2 minute long videos to make this process and this system as easy as possible to use. Well, that's it. That's the Automarketer phone system. It'll allow you to expand using a lot of people, using more team people. It'll allow you to have admin people that have phone numbers in the areas that you want to work, and it'll allow you to work in any area you want, no matter where you're at in the world, and make it inexpensive for people to call in and do this. It really is such a time saver and such a convenience factor, plus giving you credibility for your business. I hope you get good use of it. Now, to be able to use this system, you have to have the Automarketer. It's part of the Automarketer system. So once you get into the Automarketer, there's going to be a button at the top hand corner of your Automarketer. All you have to do is click on this button, and it'll take you to the video to show you how to put in your credit card information to charge your first your phone minutes. And by the way, there's no charge inside the inside the Automarketer to use the system, or to, the only cost that you have to pay is for the phone numbers and the minutes themselves as you buy them. And again, you can buy as many or as few as you like, and you can use it as much or as little as you like. All right, I hope you enjoy it.